Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So today in this video we're taking a look at this laptop's 2.5-inch SSD or hard disk enclosure, and this is from Pibox. For this enclosure I paid about 500 rupees and I got this from Amazon.in. Now with using this enclosure, maybe you upgraded your laptop and you have some spare hard disk drive. You can use such enclosure to use these spare hard disk and use them as a portable storage. Or maybe you want to make your own portable storage with newer SSDs, then you can also put some new SSDs such as this one, Crucial MX or Crucial BX, in this enclosure and then use this as a portable storage. So without any further delay, let me just open the box and see what we get inside the box. As I said, for this I paid about 500 rupees and this seemed like a very good value for money because it also came with this very soft hard carrying case, so that's a plus. As you can see, this enclosure is available in 4 different colors: a black one, a white one, the blue one and the red one. Initially I thought of buying the red colored version, but at the end I decided to go with the blue colored version. So that's pretty much about the box. As you can see on here, it says the price is 999. We got this for 500 rupees on Amazon.in. So as you can see, this is the box. This is a soft casing with some hard lining around there. So let's open it and see what are the content of the packaging. On the box you can see the Pibox logo here, right? So inside, the first thing that you will see is a small USB A to USB C cable. So let me just open this and measure the length of this cable. Now the cable feels decent, it's thick, the connector feels decent quality, and the USB connector is also looking very nice. It is smooth, the finishing is also very nice. To measure the length of the cable, let me use my tape measure. That will give us an idea what is the exact length of cable that we're getting with this. So as you can see, we're getting about 18 inches of cable. That's about 1.5 feet of cable that we're getting. So there is that. So let me just keep it aside for now. Then you will get this small pamphlet from Pibox. Let's keep it here. And finally we get the enclosure itself, and inside looks like we have a small manual that will help us installing this on our computer. So if you want to take a look at that, you can look here. Anyways, we are not going to need that. And looks like we also got something, I'm not sure what. So I think it looks like a mobile stand. So let me just see how I'm able to open this. So you can see you can open this like that, and if you have a mobile phone, so I've got a spare phone here, so you can pretty much put your phone in here and you can change the angle using this slit there. So let me increase the angle to a little more so that we will be able to see. So as you can see, if you're watching or doing something with your phone, you can put your phone there. So I don't think this is a part of the packaging, but they are including it, so that's very nice of them. Anyways, that's pretty much what you get inside the box. You get the enclosure itself, a small hard disk, a small mobile stand, and a USB A to USB C cable. So let me just keep this aside for now and let us take a look at the enclosure itself. So as you can see, this is the enclosure. We got the blue colored enclosure, and as you can see, it is looking very nice. On the top you can see the Pibox logo here, and the model number is D2S31E. At the back there is not much given here. Now, as I always do, let us measure the size of this enclosure. So I've got my tape measure here. So if we talk about the length of this enclosure, you can see that this is a little smaller than 5 inches long. If we talk about the width of this enclosure, this is about 3 inches in width. And we talk about the thickness of this enclosure, you can see this is about 1.5 centimeters or about 15 millimeters. And for something visual, I've got a AAA size battery here. So as you can see, this is how it looks when compared to a AAA size battery, and this is how it looks when compared to a AA size battery. So in my opinion, this is just about as thick as compared to a AA size battery, as you can see there. Now physically, while holding the enclosure in my hand, it feels a decent quality. I'm not liking the feel of the plastic from outside. I would have loved if the plastic was completely plain, but they have this sort of brushed finish to that, and maybe that's helping grip the enclosure properly. So there is that. To open the SSD, you have to press with both your thumb down from here, and you should hear a click. As you can see, there are instructions on the packaging as well. Once you do that, it is a sliding mechanism, so it will slide back, and there is your enclosure. So let me put my the fastest SSD I've got here, but let me just start with some hard drive. So as you can see, this is an old hard drive from a Dell laptop, a very thick hard drive. So let me see if this will fit or not. So all you have to do is make sure that these ports are aligned. The bigger ports is there, so make sure the bigger port, the bigger connector goes there, align it properly, and it should fit in just like that. And then simply from the back press it there, and then because it doesn't take any screws, all you have to do is slide it from the back, connect it like that. And simply because this is USB-C, it is very easy to connect. You don't have to worry about the orientation. You can connect this in any orientation. It comes with a USB 3.0 port. You can plug this in your computer and you can use this as a portable storage. So there is that. So let me just connect my SSD in there, and that will tell us what is the speed that we're able to get out of this. So I will be connecting my Crucial MX500. This is a 1 terabyte SSD, as you can see at the back, as you can see 1000 GB SSD. So let me just connect that. Right, so to take your SSD or hard disk out, simply move it from up there and then simply press it like that. So let me keep it aside for now, and now let me just bring in our SSD. Same thing again, align it, press it down. And one thing I forgot to mention is that inside the packaging you will also get this small shim. This is a double-sided tape. You can basically stick this on here or on the enclosure, but I don't think this will work well because every time I'm sliding this inside there, it can easily come out. So instead of using this, you can use a piece of paper and that will work well too. So let me just slide this in, and our portable 1 terabyte SSD is ready to use. So this is one of the cheapest option that you can do. If you go in the market and buy a pre-made portable SSD, it will be very expensive. In here you can buy SSD like this one, and if you just buy the SSD, it will be cheaper, and then you can buy just a 400 to 500 rupees enclosure and you can make your own portable SSD. This will be much cheaper and this will give you much better speed compared to any other option available in the market in the same price range. So there is that. So without any further delay, let me just connect this on my computer and see what are the speeds we are getting with this. Alright guys, so here is my computer. So let us connect our PiBox 2.5-inch drive enclosure. So as you can see on this computer, I'm running an Intel 11400 i5 processor, and the motherboard that I'm using is the Asus Prime H510ME. And this particular motherboard came with two USB 3.2 Gen 1 port, as you can see, U32G1. And if you take a look at the back of the motherboard, the two blue colored port, out of which one is already occupied and the top one is empty, that's where we are going to be connecting our PiBox enclosure. So let me just connect our enclosure and see what is the speed we are getting on Crystal Diskmark. Right, so let me just put the enclosure on top of the table and drop the cable down. So here is our cable. Let's connect this cable in our USB 3.0 port. So as you can see, there is our USB 3.0 port. Let me put it in there. It is now installed. Let's see what's happened in our computer. You can see it says new volume E detected. Let us check our My Computer as well. So if I open up My Computer, so as you can see on My Computer, our drive is detected as E drive and it is 930 GB. So we added a Crucial MX500 1 terabyte drive in this enclosure. Let us open up Crystal Diskmark now. So Crystal Diskmark is now open. So let us start our test. So let's talk about my setting in our Crystal Diskmark. So as you can see, the first thing I have to set my drive, which is the E drive, 931 GB bytes here. I'm using a file size of 1 GB byte and I'm using 2 counts. So this will give me an average of 2 passes and this will give me more accurate results. So let me click on all and let us come back when the test is finished. And one thing I wanted to show you is that when the drive is not doing anything, the blue colored LED on our enclosure is stable, and now when we are accessing the drive, it is blinking. So when the drive is connected and you're not doing anything, the blue LED on the enclosure will stay stable like now, and when it will start accessing or if you're transferring some file, it will start blinking like that. Alright guys, so as you can see, our test result is finished, and because at the moment we are not accessing the drive, you can see on the enclosure the LED has become stable. Now let us talk about the results that we've got. As you can see, we've got on the read speed, you can see we're getting about 460 megabytes per second. On the write speed, we're getting the similar results. On the sequential read speed at the queue depth of 1, we are getting 390, and on the write speed we are getting about 398. On random read speed at queue depths of 32 and thread 1, we are getting 165 megabytes per second. On the write speed we are getting about 168 megabytes per second. However, on the queue depth of 1, we are getting slower speed. As you can see, read speed we are getting, random speed read speed we are getting is about 26 megabytes per second. And the random write speed at the queue depths of 1, we are getting about 77.32 megabytes per second. So these are my results when using this PiBox enclosure. And remember, we added a Crucial MX500 1 terabyte drive. It also comes with a DRAM inside there. Alright guys, so just to get more accurate results and to rule out any flukes that we were getting during the test, I repeated the test at least 4 times. So as you can see, on each test we were getting similar speeds: 460, 460, 460, 460. On the random read speed, you can see we're getting about 163, 163, about 165 somewhere, and 164 somewhere. So there is a little bit of ups and downs, but overall you can see even after doing the test about 4 times, I'm still getting the similar results. So these were my results using the Crystal DiskMark, testing the PiBox 2.5-inch drive enclosure. Alright guys, so this was my unboxing and testing of this PiBox SATA 2.5-inch drive enclosure. In this video we tested this with the Crystal DiskMark using the Crucial MX500. This enclosure comes with a USB-C port. Now in the beginning I thought that because this is a USB-C port you can use any other cable, but after testing I found out that I tried some cheaper cable such as this one from Ambrain. This is a USB-C cable. I also tried some other expensive cable such as this one. This was a little expensive cable, but this cable also did not work. So make sure if you have this enclosure, this only worked with its own cable that came in the box. Now, other thing I want to say about this enclosure or any other enclosure is that although we did the testing in this video, but you have to take those tests with a grain of salt, because you may be using a different computer, your USB ports may be old or new, you may be using a different drive. So there's always this possibility of getting different results, because Crystal DiskMark is a synthetic benchmark, and in real world testing and real world usage our results can always vary depending upon what we are doing with our drives and our use case. Anyways, I think this is a good value for money. If you look on the internet, you will find various options available, but none of them will give you such a good decent quality carrying case. The build quality is also decent. Personally, I am not liking the feel of the plastic, but it is flexible, so it will not break on you, it will not crack easily. So there is that. It worked with all the hard drives that I had, all other SSDs that I had, so without any problem it worked. And the cable that came with the enclosure is also very nice. It detects very quickly on the computers. Overall, I think it's a good enclosure for the price. For 490 to 500 rupees, I think this is a good value for money. Anyways, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you find this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.